hosted by 3 local resident groups: the Alexandria Residents Action Group, the Friends of Erskineville and Redwatch. My name is Vanessa Knight and I'm the co-convener of the Alexandria Residents Action Group, and I'll be hosting tonight's forum with Darren Jenkins, the President of Friends of Erskineville, and Alice Anderson, who is just there, from Redwatch. I would like to begin by acknowledging that we meet on the traditional lands of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and I pay my respects to their elders, past and present. And thank you for coming, everyone, tonight. So the federal election will be held on the 2nd of July, just 10 days away, in what has been, for us, I think, the longest election campaign ever. Tonight we have 7 of the 10 candidates for the seat of Sydney. We have Tanya Plibersek, from the Labor Party, and of course our member for Sydney. Sylvie Ellsmore from the Greens Party, Peter Boyle from the Socialist Alliance, Tom Geyser from the Science Party, Tula Soros from the Online Direct Democracy Party, Chris Spike from Sustainable Australia, and Mark Berriman from the Animal Justice Party.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Liberal Party candidate gave us very late notice that even after 3 weeks of chasing, he was not available tonight. But anyway, I would like you to make all the candidates very welcome tonight. I'd also ask that if any of you have mobile phones, that you please turn them off or turn them to silent. Anyway, thank you. I'm going to hand over to Darren now. Thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa. It's great to see such a big turnout tonight, and I think that speaks to how engaged the electorate of Sydney really is. Tonight's forum will take place in 2 parts. The first part will see each of the candidates taking their turn with 7 minutes to talk about issues relevant to Sydney. Now, we've asked them to speak on 3 topics of particular relevance to us, and they are WestConnex, climate change and housing. After each of the speakers has spoken, there will be an opportunity for questions from the audience. So I'd ask that you just, for the first part, hear each of the speakers out, and then there'll be an opportunity for you to ask the questions that are important to you. What we're going to do is have a very civil and very strong and vigorous debate tonight, but I'd ask that we respect that spirit of civility, we hear people out, and we listen to the answers to the questions. So I'll hand it over now to Alice to actually introduce each of the particular candidates.
So we've drawn the candidates out of the hat, so the speaking order will follow as Tanya Plibersek, Tula Soros, Sylvie Ellsmore, Peter Boyle, Tom Geyser, Mark Berriman and Chris Spike. I will now briefly introduce each candidate, and then they will be following with their speech. So I would just like to start with Tula Soros, who's just over here. Tula Soros is a BA graduate from Monash University with majors in English literature, politics and a minor in economic history. She has spent her adult life gaining experience as an actor, filmmaker, a senior HR consultant in various government agencies and an avid mindset student. She represents the online directory Direct Democracy, Australia's first internet-based registered political party, which is not affiliated with any other organisation and aims to provide everyone listed on electorate rolls with a direct voice in Parliament. Peter Boyle. Peter Boyle is a former national convener of the Socialist Alliance and has been an activist since the early 1970s, when he radicalised around war, race and class issues after his family migrated to Australia from Malaysia. Peter writes regularly for the newspaper The Green Left Weekly and has a long involvement with Aboriginal rights and other social movements. He lives in Newtown and has 2 daughters and 2 grandchildren. Sylvie Ellsmore. get over here. Sylvie is a native title lawyer, former Marrickville councillor. She has a background in environmental planning, heritage law and policy, and has previously worked as a senior policy advisor for the New South Wales Government. For many years, she has coordinated the Reconciliation Action Youth Network, working with young people and local reconciliation groups across New South Wales on local anti-racism projects. Sylvie is also a volunteer karate teacher at the Darlington Dojo. Tom Geyser. Tom grew up in Armidale, New South Wales, and has lived in Sydney for 10 years. He has a Bachelor of Engineering specialising in renewable energy. Tom has worked on a solar thermal research and development in the Silicon Valley, helped King Island go 65% renewable, and now works on an operations/market analyst for one of Australia's largest renewable energy generators. Tanya Plibersek. Tanya Plibersek is the Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Deputy Leader for Federal Parliamentary Labor Party, the Shadow Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Development, and the Federal Member for Sydney. Tanya was previously the Minister for Health, and her other ministry appointments have included the Ministry for Medical Research, Minister for Social Inclusion, Minister for Human Services, Ministers for Status of Women, and Minister for Housing. Chris Spike, the gentleman on the end. Chris Spike was born in Sydney and is a composer, teacher and sustainability advocate who feels very strongly that laudable efforts of the environment groups have never succeeded until the population issue is resolved and stabilised. Chris is a keen bushwalker and is passionate about protecting Australia's biodiversity from the damage caused by our high immigration-fed rapid population growth. Mark Berryman, the gentleman on the end. Mark is a musician, writer and a former editor of The Health magazine. He is the president of the Australian Vegetarian Society. He is also concerned about how animals are treated and to make progressions in Australian animal law.
Tanya, if you'd like to come to the microphone. I'd also like to remind all the speakers, we have someone doing timing at the front. You'll get a 6-minute bell and then a 7-minute, please stop speaking. Thank you.
Thanks very much for the invitation to join.